SwoleBenji here. On the screen is the build I'm using. It's the druidic staff build. Now, this is my favorite all-time yellow zone bullying build. So the way it works is you use a Morgana Raven to fear people as they gather, which will then make them run outside of the range of their mount. So this guy is gathering fibers, so I fear him. His mount despawns. This allows me to attack him without him being able to run away. And as you can see, he is overweight. And with his mount despawned, he has no way of escaping. And because I'm using a druidic staff, my Q attack is very powerful. These guys run up on me with tier 7 great axes. I pop reflect. They basically kill themselves. I have 2 ways to heal. And because I'm an 8.3, they do almost no damage to me whatsoever, and I'm able to easily finish them off with thorns. Now, one of the bad things is that the Thetford cape I have will attract mobs, but a lot of times these mobs will also attack your assailants with AoE attacks. This guy was already dismounted. I just feared him just to see what he would do. It also gives me time to dismount and get my cooldowns ready. I forget what tier fire staff he's using, but he's no match. Now, with Druid Staff, you don't have the best chase, so if someone decides to run away from you, like those Great Axe players could easily have escaped me, and there was nothing I could do about it. But the great thing about Druidic Staff is your W will increase the amount that you can heal yourself. The E heals you over 50%, and the R, which is Mercenary Jacket, will heal you even more than that. The reflect on the helmet is just a nice defensive shield, and if you're getting ganged up on, allows people to kill themselves. And a lot of players either don't know that you're reflecting, or they don't know what to do while you're reflecting. If a player knows that you're reflecting, they may just choose not to attack you, and during that time it's just open season. You can attack them all you want. Now, one thing I like to do, I like to just ride around and bully gatherers. He runs into a group dungeon thinking that he's completely safe. But what he fails to realize is, and I laugh there in the recording, is that he can't leave right away. So I can easily take him down before he's able to leave. He realizes this and runs deeper into the dungeon. Now I use soldier boots so that I can chase more efficiently. And I know that if there's a group doing the dungeon, I'm going to have to fight them as well. So I keep a little distance, but what ends up happening is it's just another druidic staff player, and I guess he's calling for help or something. I don't know what language he is, or what language he's using, but I down him there. And the other guy was the same build as me with 8.3. We chatted a bit, and there's no point in fighting the same build, because we would just heal each other infinitely. There would be no way to kill each other at all. So this guy chooses to fight. You know, he's got the Great Axe build that everyone uses. Everyone has recommended the Great Axe build. It's the first thing you find on Google. It is not the fastest dungeon clear. And of course, like, there's no real build that can take this on. I fight an 8.3 bolt caster user later. Just straight up man fight. We just both plant our feet and start slapping. And I win the fight at full HP, and there's nothing you can do. So sometimes people get away, but what they realize is that if they don't dismount in time, then I can still dismount them. Like, if this happens to you and you're on the victim side, and you see the enemy player start mounting, just start mounting up yourself and you'll always escape. Now, in this case, a lot of these guys have big escapes, so I eventually find this guy who has no escapes, and he decides to fight me, which is nice, but there's really nothing he can do. Remember, I have basically two full heals I can rotate against. I have a healing potion, and also the reason I use Omelet is because your cooldowns will come off by the time that you're able to recast Thorns. So by the time I use up my 5 Thorns, I can send a 6th auto towards the player. There's no catching that guy, so I just switch targets. And he melts. Well, that's a naked player, actually. That's why he melted. And stole his items there, and he came back on his mount. Look at that, 4 or 5 hits, and he's dismounted already. And this guy was skinning, and oops, caught you skinning, bro. he tries to zone into the dungeon, right? But the green dungeons you have to channel to enter. The group dungeons you don't. So he just, you know, it's a learning experience for him. He's new. That's why he's using the Great Axe. Tier 7 Great Axe. Here's a guy mining just to fear him away from his mount. And hey, look, he's a druidic staff as well, but he's a much lower tier. So there's really nothing he can do. He can't out-heal my damage. Do note that I am max spec. This guy dismounts. He's like, oh shit, there's a red flag player. And then he looks at my gear and he's like, nah, I don't think so, man. I can't fight him. See, that's a smart player right there. He gets away. Now, this guy's Undead Cape triggered, and that's when he pops his armor. Now, this is the 8.3 bolt casters. I'm like, is he AFK? He dismounts because he wants to fight. And this is a huge repair build. This cost him over 200 grand right here. And I hit reflect early to try to get it where he won't E me, but he E's me anyway. So I eat the last part of his E, which is the more dangerous part, and I'm able to out-heal it. This other guy gives him a damage or attack speed buff, and it's still not enough. I'm literally at full health. Now this guy should have easily escaped me. He has this. Like, why did he stun me? He should just run away. He's in an 8.3 satchel. That's a big repair build, by the way. Like, this guy... Like, there's no way I should have caught him. And then, look, there's another player that I downed earlier, still on timer. And that's the fun thing about griefing yellow zones, is that people will be downed all the time, and you can basically chase them out. You can have the whole zone to yourself for your friends to, like, do skinning and stuff. It's really fun to, like, ride your mount across the whole area, and everyone is just kneeling at your feet. Like, here, I would normally give up, but he has really bad pathing. And I'm about to get Wanderlust, so, you know, him making the mistake of hesitating here because there was a mob in front of him is what gets him killed. And then he didn't use his run on his boots, which is a sad day for him. So every person that we're downing in this video is suffering a 5% durability loss. And one of the risks by running an 8.3 build is that if you get downed, you're going to pay a huge repair bill. Like, if players managed to down me, I would have to pay 200,000 to 300,000 silver. But because I'm a druidic staff and they attack onto me, I reflect all of that. It's max specs, so they take a lot of reflect damage. I have the reflect helmet. I have 2 self heals, which one of the heals will trigger when I'm reflecting damage. So it's just passive healing. There's really nothing people can do that, and unless a whole bunch of 8.3 geared players ganged me. But then I could just run away with Wanderlust and just heal indefinitely. Like, unless they had catch gear, 8.3 claws, mace, you know, and some high DPS builds, there's nothing they could really do. That's why this is my favorite yellow zone bully build. Now, would I use this in the red and black zones? No, because people could just run away. The Morgana Raven itself is like 700,000 silver. And yeah, you could do this in red zones where you dismount people, but they're going to be able to run away, and your E ability will be on cooldown for a bit because it shares the E cooldown from the mount. So, that's all. Just go out there, beat up some fish bots if you want. You don't have to use this build. This is just my favorite build for bullying yellow zones, and it's a really good one. So, the build is at the very start of the video, so go ahead and check it out. Guys, I really appreciate you watching. If you have any good video ideas, please let me know. And not generic stuff like, oh, do corrupteds. Corrupteds suck, man. Anyway, as always, be a bro, stay swole. Make sure you return your shopping carts back to the cart corral. Hit a like on the video. I know a lot of people don't like bullying. They're going to leave comments like, oh, you should fight people your own gear score. Go in the black zones and fight people for real, dude. Look, man, if you've watched this channel at all, you realize that I'm a huge griefer. Like in World of Warcraft, my favorite thing to do is grief and kill lobies. This is basically the Albion version of that, right? You just find someone, you despawn their mount, and then you beat them up, and they suffer a repair bill. This guy's in 7-2. That's a huge repair bill, and he was AFK. So don't AFK in yellow zones, guys. At least hide in a dungeon and let the door close first. Oh, 7-1, whatever. Anyway, guys. Hit me up in the Discord. Links are in the description. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, guys. I really appreciate you watching.